or rug, whatever. But if people want to play, it's like, I just want to burn people's faces off. It's like, well, we got Lava Spike. What do you think about that card?
Yeah, I think very highly.
So we're moving over to a new match. We do not yet have lists, but you see Kurt Samson on the left of your screen, Joe Veth on the right. Neither of these players are anyone I'm familiar with, but they're both doing quite well in this event, and hopefully we'll get a bit more information once we know what they're playing.
Yeah, Joe Veth up a game.
So yeah, this is only game 2. They managed to finish game 1 pretty much as the other match finished. So I'm guessing one of them is playing something like lands or I don't know, countertop or something.
Maybe an Espermuir.
Maybe.
Those drag on a little bit.
Yeah, either one of them is playing something very slow or both are playing something kind of slow. And we see, this looks like Aggro Loam on the right of the screen. I
see a Badlands and a Forgotten, a Loam in a cave or something.
That one's for sure. We were seeing.
I think of Aggro Loam as the best of the capital L legacy decks.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. It is the most legitimate of the fancy decks.
Aha, we have lists now. So, yep. Joe Veth on the right of the screen is in fact playing Aggro Loam.
And we got a Rug Delver deck here on the left.
A little bit of interesting stuff. He has a Faithless Looting, a Fort Bolt, a Scavenging Ooze. A little bit of spice here and there.
Yeah, a little bit of miserly action. Some singletons.
So, Aggro Loam is one of those decks that sort of comes and goes in terms of its popularity in Legacy. People love a Life from the Loam, and we actually saw a Loam deck, I guess a few months ago in the hands of Bronson Magnan win the modern Grand Prix in Lincoln, Nebraska. GP Hoth, as many of us called it, and this. It shares many characteristics with the Legacy version. The Legacy version is a bit more powerful since it actually gets to play with cycle lands, which are one of the big tools that you get from getting to go back a little farther.
So Samson is responding to an Inquisition here with a Brainstorm to try to hide the goods, and so it bricks off. It does reveal a Submersion of Force of Will, which is good information to have, but all of the Inquisitionable goodies are somewhere lingering on the top of the deck.
Yeah, and that's definitely a very good use of a Brainstorm. He's going to be able to play something this turn, I'm betting. Yep, there's a Delver who dodged there. What did you draw? And then Samson uses Wasteland to take out that Badlands.
And Veth's hand doesn't seem very robust against those removal spells.
Well, he draws a Surgical Extraction, which is
not awesome.
Kind of an unusual card to have in after sideboarding in this matchup, I think.
Well, I know there's definitely a philosophy that you can actually Wasteland / Surgical Extraction the Rug decks out of the game.
That's kind of interesting. So he's going after Wasteland? And he's doing it before the Kurt's draw step. I don't really understand this.
Well, the thing is, if he's since he brainstormed in response to the Inquisition,
right, he's getting rid of.
Possible he knows that there's almost certainly a spell on top,
and
there was not. It was actually Tormod's Crypt,
which is actually a pretty relevant card that he might might want to hit. I'm a little perplexed by taking Wasteland there rather than say Brainstorm, but
he might be on just some sort of land screw plan.
It's possible.
Also, he almost certainly loses if Samson draws another Wasteland, so there are a couple of rationales.
Well, I haven't really gotten a good look at his hand, so I'm not really sure. But typically, Loam decks tend to be fairly resilient to Wasteland, thanks to their namesake Loam.
Yeah, but his hand's not. He doesn't have green mana.
Okay, yeah, I didn't notice that.
He just has a Wasteland.
Own Wasteland.
There is exactly one.
And you could have seen him Wasteland that tropical and actually, like you were saying, lock him out of green mana.
There are 0 spots left.
I think that might have been a stronger play.
There are 3 spots in the last standard win a box. You want to get your standard deck one last whirl? Come on.
I know there's a lot of a popular topic with the rogue decks is: are you supposed to play a Taiga or are you supposed to play even a Breeding Pool to sort of hedge against this strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I actually like going after his green mana quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree. Looks like he draws. I suppose he is a bit. Oh, that looks like he drew a Chrome Mox.
Is that an engineered explosives or a Mox Diamond? Oh, it's a Mox Diamond.
Oh, it is a Mox. It is a Mox Diamond.
Which is actually the perfect draw.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He gets to loam and make his land drop, which is in.
Kurt is debating, He's debating whether he wants to force of will this.
It's hard to pull the trigger on forcing this Chrome Mox, but it's actually this Mox Diamond rather. But this is insane.
Yeah, this is very powerful.
Oh boy.
So he gets to.
Oh boy.
Wow. Yeah, that's big.
Get back Badlands, Wasteland.
Now Kurt probably kicking himself that he didn't force of will.
Yeah. It's hard to know that his hand's exactly like that, but get him. There you go.
All right, you asked for it. We made it happen. Legacy Winner Box number 1
reveals a bolt to the Delver, but
stage. Once again, if you sign up for Legacy Winner Box number 1, come on over to the side event stage. Still got those last 3 slots for one more standard win.
No, lightning bolt.
No,
that's a chain. That's the fire and lightning chain.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think that was quite lightning bolt.
So he's gonna resolve the Delver flip, but he doesn't want to draw a chain, so he's gonna.
So getting a bit of control over his draw with the Dark Steel Relic version of Delver.
And I'm not actually that huge of a fan of using the fetch line in this position, just
he
because
knows that Joe has the Wasteland.
Yeah, the looping Wasteland means that there needs to be a really, really good reason to break a fetch land.
Right.
And the idea of drawing a random card versus drawing your bolt.
Yeah, how much better? How much are you actually upgrading?
It doesn't seem good enough.
Draw?
The random draw doesn't seem good enough here to warrant breaking your fetch land that early.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Although he might just be digging for. It's possible he's just digging for crypt because he might just feel like he just needs to find a crypt ASAP. So he's drawn a Ponder, looking at Brainstorm, and I believe he just drew a Tormod's Crypt. So he did get paid out for what he was trying to do. Yeah, and he's going to Crypt.
Okay.
So his play was rewarded as he was able to find a Tormod's Crypt that turn.
All right. Well. I suppose the vulnerability he has to that loam, being able to actually dig for something that gets rid of it there is
it's a high risk, high reward punt.
Right.
It was high risk, high reward. He got paid off. So he has a force of will for the Dark Confidant, and now it's just Insect Aberration staring into the abyss. Knocks Veth down to 11. Corrects the fetch line to go down to 10. And Veth just with Badlands in hand, so both of these players
kind of out of action. Alright, and he draws. Ooh, that's
a Terrorvore. Probably want to play your land to avoid getting dazed.
And there's a fatty. How big is that?
I don't know, he's big.
Well, there's a Tormod Crypt, so he's a little bit bigger than he might otherwise be. Looks like we're getting out dice to represent it. Aiding us at home. Oh, he's only 4.
Oh, not that big.
Not that big. Kurt draws a Taiga.
So he actually does have a main deck edge against the... Sitting on a Brainstorm here. Doesn't quite want to fire it off just yet.
Joe goes down to 7. So that Terrorvore's going to need some help.
Oh, that's a huge draw.
Wow. Explosives. That's going to be able to take out that Delver.
He has to look. All right, so we're going to Brainstorm to dig here.
Yeah, there's not...
I don't even know.
You could draw a Stifle that could stop him from being able to actually activate it.
That's going to have to lose his Mox here to blow it up, but it seems well worth it.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Samson also looking at a submerge, which will help him with the race a little bit here, because if that Mox goes away, Veth actually can't recast the Terravore.
Yes, that's true.
Sends the Vor in.
No. That resolves. I think he's debating whether he wants to submerge Terravore or submerge his own guy.
I think submerging submerging
Well, what did he knows what he put on top. What were the other 2 cards?
a Chain Lightning and something I couldn't tell.
So the way that this race works out.
But you're also bricking him off of a draw too.
Yeah. He's gonna submerge his own guy.
All right. That Mox should.
Yeah, that Mox is dead. Mox is dead. Yeah, there we go.
I think I would have submerged the Terravore there.
Well, I mean, Joe has a lot of draws that can let him recast Terravore. Kurt's, I believe, at 13, not 17, because he did get hit from Terravore. That now Terravore's hitting again, putting him to 9.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the.
I guess he's got him on 2 turns now.
Yeah.
Of the evening. If you want this last spot.
Do you draw off of Chain Lightning, or does someone win first?
I don't know. That's interesting. I've never seen that come up. I assume you draw because the damage all resolves at the same time, right?
Yeah.
It's all part of the spell effect, or is it a trigger?
Okay.
Well, he just concedes.
No, Samson's play was definitely right there.
Yeah.
To submerge his own guy.
I think that was correct. He knew he just had Chain Lightning coming up. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
He's not going to win with just that Chain Lightning.
That's my bad. Good play, Samson. So on to game 3 here.
So looking at these decks,
Kurt has a counterbalance package he can sideboard into if he's feeling it, though I don't think it's good for this
it doesn't
matchup.
really seem like what you want here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can have counterbalance on 2, you can hold off Life of the Loam, but I think you'd rather just rely on Tormod's Crypt for that.
Yeah. A big issue that Kurt might have here is he actually only has 6 actual lands that generate colored mana.
Okay.
And he's playing against a recurring Wasteland deck.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it can definitely come up pretty big. The sort of edge that you try and get by playing Super Landlight can come back to haunt you when you're playing against decks that are attacking your resources.
Yeah.
So Joe will, however, be on the play this game, and that's pretty huge. That makes Daze and Stifle way worse.
Yeah.
In addition to just being able to develop faster. Yeah, there's a little over 5 minutes left in the round, about 7 it looks like. So with their time extension. So we may also see this go to turns.
This is a fairly fast match. I mean, it can get
There's
kind
a
of
lot of shuffling.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shuffling. I mean, before we started watching, these players had a long game 1 that took as long as our previous match.
Standard win box number 4 coming up to the main event stage. Once again, the standard win box.
So I was a little surprised to see Dark Confidant still in Veth's deck, since that seems like
they do seem a little out of place here, since what he's trying to do is primarily generate a bunch of resources via loam and everything, and sort of take control of the board in the long term anyway.
It's also a pretty easy card for Samson to fight over. There's
a
million different bolts and
it's not exactly something that's going to be able to stick around very long.
So it looks like Veth is going down to 5 cards. But he does have Life from the Loam in his deck, so definitely a deck that can, with the proper draw, can definitely pull out of a deep mulligan.
Yeah, mulligans are much easier for decks with recurring card advantage engines to recover from.
Although he also has things like Seismic Assault and Mox Diamond, which can exacerbate already.
Also true. One card that we didn't see in that game that's can come up pretty big in this matchup is Punishing Fire. Punishing Fire is able to take out Delvers, and it's not quite as effective because of Nimble Mongoose, but.
All right, now 4 cards.
Ooh, dear. We may not really see much of a game at all.
So
Joe looks like he's smiling and taking it in stride at least.
We need Fetch Land, Mox Diamond, Wasteland Loam. Is that our that's our dream hand.
All right.
That gives us a little bit of game.
Yeah.
A lot of game potentially.
I would not mulligan that hand. Not going to send that back. We have Baronmore.
Looks like his hand is Inquisition, Dark Confidant,
and Green Sun Zenith.
Is Green Zenith in the deck?
There's 1 Green Sun Zenith in his deck.
Turn 1 Delver.
Well, it looks like you drew a land, so...
Cast a Dark Confidant and hope.
Maybe this resolves and doesn't die.
Could happen.
That's a card that can get him back in the game. If I knew I was going to mulligan, there's a Lightning Bolt.
Spoiler alert. Not untapping.
No flip. So unlucky.
Yeah.
Legacy Open players, that is time. Active player, please finish your turn, then begin 5 additional total turns. Again, that is time.
Actually, the 1 Fork Bolt for the full Rubbins.
Oh, jeez. It's your face as well.
There's a Grove. An Inquisition.
I wonder if he...
It looks like his hand's just bolts and lands.
All right.
All right, well, he has a lot of draws from here. Punching Fire.
Yeah.
Loam, whatever, that can start dragging him back.
Oh. And there's a Goose. I imagine it is likely to get loose this turn.
Yeah.
As geese are wont to do.
And if that Delver doesn't flip, then Engineer Explosive is a big draw too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a fetch land. Green Sun Zenith for 2. It's going to get him a...
Ooze, I guess?
Ooze or Goyf? I don't know which you want here. Yeah, he's getting Goyf. Goyf, I believe, is 4/5. May only be 3/4, actually. I see the sorcery, creature... Or no, there's no creatures. No, there is a creature. Yeah, I believe it's 4/5. Sorcery creature. There's no instance, actually, I guess. So it's only 3/4.
Why is that Bolt RFG'd?
I don't know what that bolt's doing. I don't remember that bolt. What, was that bolt ever cast?
It was Inquisitioned.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So it is 4/5. I'm confused. He has a 3 on it. Why is it 3? Oh, a Submerge. But Joe has no forests.
Yep. Should probably make sure that Lightning Bolt's a little bit clearer that's in the graveyard.
Yeah, I'm a little confused. It looks like that bolt is somehow not in the yard when it really, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. And it seems like the players are counting that Goyf wrong, because there's definitely sorcery, land, instant creature.
Is there a creature? Oh yeah, the Dark Confidant.
Dark Confidant, yeah. Well, Inquisition.
He's going to get that chain.
Yeah, all right. Just holding it back for something. So then, Goyf. That should be for 4.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that Goyf is 4. That wasn't removed by anything. Okay, all right, they got it.
Good.
Sweet. All right, so Kurt's actually at 15, Joe at 13. How many cards are in that yard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any of the fetch land. So Goose is in fact getting loose.
Yep. He's gonna fetch before he draws. Not a play I'm that big on because drawing Brainstorm or Ponder.
Right.
You can at least wait the draw step.
in formats where you don't have too many things that actually manipulate the top of your deck, the fetch to thin my deck is a totally reasonable line of play. But I think that the value of fetch lands is much higher in Legacy.
Yep. But even with this 4-card mulligan, I mean, a Punishing Fire here can easily just drag him right back into the game.
I mean, the Goose would end up getting held up by the Goyf, and Kurt does have that land heavy hand that heads him one away from just hard casting Submerge.
Yeah. So draws. Is that a Faithless Looting?
I believe he has one Faithless Looting in his deck. So very well might be. So he's looting.
Casts Faithless Looting. Finds a Crypt into Ponder.
Discarding. It looks like
Crypt Submerge.
Okay. That makes it going a bit bigger. Bringing Joe to 4 life. Oh, no, Edict.
Casting Diabolic Edict.
Yeah, that's going to get a Goose. That Goose is cooked.
Although this is risky now. If he actually rips Punishing Fire.
Yeah. Ponder. Into
Force of Will Bolt. Force of Will plus Bolt might just lock it up though, because he can force a Punching Fire and then bolt him out the next turn.
And Joe draws. Oh, they're turn 4 of extra turns.
So if this is a kill spell, actually he can just get the draw. Oh no, he still has Force of Will plus Bolt. He has it locked up.
That doesn't really do anything. And this is go.
And
this is like turn 5. Boom.
Two-headed giant.
Vulture. And there it is. So Kurt Samson with the Lightning Bolt for lethal wins
5.